Hello, young principal. Are you new? Gotcha. I figured you were maybe Ren or Goatfinner or something, because you're the only two that I know that really have changed their names a lot in the past. So, just wanted to be sure. Wait for some people to get in here. How did the stream go yesterday? We didn't stream yesterday. Thursday, we ended Destinies Forever. Hey, King. They don't do anything more with Destinies. That's the only game you're ever gonna frickin' see on this channel, like I've said. It went all right. Finishing it off and everything, I definitely there's a lot to impact with the game, but there's also much that I feel needed to be done more, and that's why I'm hoping by the end of the year that we get more to that game, because I want to see it continue. There's so much left undone, it's not even funny. But the one thing that I am excited for is the fact that the ones who live is inching closer and closer. That's what I'm freaking looking forward to. And Dragon Ball Sparking, aka Budokai Tenkaichi 4, because any Dragon Ball fans that have been fans of the Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi series, they're going to want to see that game. It's been a long time in the making. What are you guys excited for 2024? Deadpool 3? All right, Spider-Man Homecoming 4. I didn't think that was a thing. You mean just the Spider-Man 4 movie? I didn't think that was happening either. I know Deadpool 3 is happening. And The Ones Who Live. Yeah, definitely. There most likely will be a young principal. There will be a new Spider-Man. I just didn't know that it was happening this year. Heck, it might not. Might. Who knows? GTA 6? I'm not really into the Grand Theft Auto series. I played it once. GTA 5 is my brother's game. That's like all I got interested in it. And then I actually got the game from a storage auction, along with a wrestling game and a few other Call of Duties. So I'm actually going to get myself a little interested with GTA 5, but the most I'm going to want to do with it is just adventure. That's all I really care. And The Ones Who Live. Of course you're going to be excited for The Ones Who Live, because not only are we going to see Atlanta come back, but I think we're going to get a deep backstory with Rick. And that the CRM might, maybe, I think what they're doing is that those helicopters, I think the CRM, they're going to have that tie into them bombing Atlanta. I think that's how they're going to do that. And if that's going to be a pretty creative plot twist there, that the CRM's basically been around since the start. do digital drawing. Nice. I have no idea. Sorry. Yeah. We're going to give it another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and get started. I have 2 what ifs saved for the Q&A, and that is Octavius in The Walking Dead and Old Man Marley actually being a serial killer. Who knows, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I've opened up space more on my papers, like literally still using the paper once per stream, but definitely opened up more space. Bird. Okay. They wouldn't do that. Hi, Sophia. If they would kill off Rick at the end of The Ones Who Live, that would defeat the entire purpose of seeing him come back. What franchises can we recommend from? Well, The Walking Dead, we've almost exhausted all of our ideas. So at this point with The Walking Dead, I just recommend crossovers. But as for everything else, you can do basically every other series that I've covered on the channel and ones that I'm going to cover, basically, and crossovers too. Now let me catch up here. You really think that they wouldn't do that? Yes, I get that you got to think, they have not followed the comics consistently throughout the whole entire series. They let Shane live until season 2. They killed off Dale early, and Bob took over his role. They've had a lot of switch overs. So even if they're not going to kill Rick the same way, obviously, because actors have chosen to leave or get killed off or, yeah, stuff like that. They're not going to be consistent. And with how this has gone, if Rick were to die, that would defeat the entire purpose of the spinoff. What if Rick was the hunter? So, like, Daryl and Rick's rules getting reversed? All right. I could do that. What if Rick and Daryl swapped? All right, so that's 3 so far for the stream. I think Sweet Kazark's talking about the comics. Yeah. What if Judith was the reincarnation of Carl? That would be kind of weird, because if you think about it, Judith was born long whenever Carl was still alive. 3 seasons, 4 even, in fact. So to make that work would be very hard. Oh, I don't care about spoilers in the least bit. But as for everyone else, you'll have to talk to them on that. But I do have some good news. I am finally at the point where Alexandria becomes part of the What If Dale Survived remake story. I'm finally getting to Alexandria. And I've gotten like close to 1,400 pictures pre-recorded to part 10. I don't want to say there's going to be 50 parts, but I'm going to leave it at 40. But oh my god, this is literally going to become a freaking movie. Technically, all my other what ifs that have been long are movies. Yes, a remake of me being in The Walking Dead. I'm actually going to feature me going to other groups in The Walking Dead. So that's going to happen in the future. What if Eastman and Dale met? You know, Ren, spoiler alert, you're going to see that in the Dale Survived remake. I'm not going to tell you when it's going to happen. Yeah. What if you got all of your what ifs and put them into an hour-long No. That would not be an hour-long video. All my what ifs together would go for over probably 10 hours, including the ones that I have put on from the Q&As. That would be like, that you would take days to watch those. Weeks. I'm never, look, if I ever do put my what if ideas into a movie, it's just going to be of that what if idea. I'm not going to put all of them together. That really wouldn't make sense. But for a specific one idea, I just need to get a laptop or like something that I can actually work with, because doing it off a mobile device would take tons and tons and tons of data. I'd have to delete stuff, re-put it. It's just way too much complications. But right now, working towards hopefully soon here, maybe like, I don't know, give it like a month, 2 months maybe. Hopefully gonna get a laptop and we'll see. What if the CRM found out about the Commonwealth? What if everyone ran into the woods? I don't know. I'm thinking that the Horde would follow. I don't know. That one's kind of tough. What if all the what if groups had a tournament? I'm going to be doing something like that, Ren. It's just that it's going to be a long time in the future because I've got so many The Walking Dead ideas. It's like, it's way too much. What if Deadpool was in the Logan movie? I've never really watched the Logan movies or the X-Men. I've watched the 2 Deadpools, but now that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to become part of the MCU is the really only thing that I pay attention to. The DC here and there, I pay attention to small things, but as a whole, it just doesn't, I don't know. What if Eastman was a villain? I gotta catch up a little. What if the CRM found out about the Commonwealth? I think I could actually make that a sick finale for The Walking Dead, and even Rick shows up and everything. What if the CRM and Commonwealth fought? Yeah, I could do that. I feel like I already saved that idea, though. Sophia, if you really want a Sophia-themed story, check out What If Sophia Joined Negan. You'll love that. people, pretty much a bunch of people on the channel have said that that's their favorite story so far. But you guys are probably going to say that the Dale one's your next favorite after it's completely done. 40 parts or not. King of Portals also posted comment on my recent video that it might be one of my best series so far, so I'm only proving myself right. Oh. Well, what a coincidence. What if Rick was taken from the hospital into the Grady Memorial Hospital? So, like, what if Rick met Dawn early? That one's already going to happen. Different context, though. But we got 4 ideas so far, so we are doing good. We're cool. We are cool. Do I need to catch up on anything? What if Eastman was a villain? Yeah, I could do that. That'd be a twisted way to introduce Eastman, though. What if the Hulk fought Wolverine? What if... How would Hulk fight Wolverine? How would that work? Hi, Garjolio. What if Eastman was a villain? And ignore that. What? Gordon Ramsay? That's a little silly, I'm not going to lie. Wolverine and Iron Man. So, like, what if Wolverine was introduced into the MCU early? All right. What if Wolverine and Iron Man teamed up? That's what I'm going to really work with there. What if Wolverine and Iron Man teamed up? That's the best way that I can think to make that work. What if the TVA captured the Avengers in Endgame? What's the TVA? Time Police. The TVA was in Loki. Well, I didn't really pay attention to Loki, honestly. I only pay attention to the MCU movies. I pay attention to small details and everything with the shows, but overall, nothing really major. Then I don't know. So they're like the Time Patrol of the MCU. What if Otis survived Shane? I have what if Otis killed Shane and what if Otis survived and a few other Otis-themed what ifs for the future. What if Spider-Man was in Age of Ultron? That would just be introducing Spider-Man a movie early, and honestly, I can't see much changing outside of the fact that Spider-Man would have more experience on the team. So I'm not really going to do that one. Fun fact, the longest piece of Rehenin history is The Loud House Revamped. What if PS4 Spider? I've seen the Spider-Man in the that game, but I'm not going to say that I could do that as a story. I've done Tobey Maguire in the MCU and Andrew Garfield in the MCU, and I'm even going to do remakes of those two particular stories. So, and Sophia, besides the what if Sophia joined Negan, I'm going to have Sophia join other groups in the future, like the Whisperers, the Commonwealth, Eastman, stuff that like that. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Okay. What if Spider-Man joined Vulture? Well, if he joined Vulture, he'd be becoming a bad Spider-Man, and then I'm gonna say that things would just go downhill because if he joined, then No Way Home would be kind of screwed because there wouldn't be a third Spider-Man. Spider-Man would be bad. Aunt May would. It's not a good ending. What if Spider-Man was killed by Vulture? Same thing. What if when Walkers attacked Season 1 Atlanta camp, Ed survived and separated from the group and joined Woodbury? I have Ed survived as a single what if, and I'm going to be doing a remake of that story and actually making it a story. I know when I made that first part, I was like, should there be a part 2? And this is not going to continue from that story. It's a complete remake, like all my other stories that I've done remakes on so far. So, yeah. I gotta think. What if Tom Holland Spider-Man died in No Way Home? Well, then Spider-Man's story would officially be over. And Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, the story might have gone downhill. Or they might have still cured Green Goblin successfully because Tom Holland's Spider-Man's the only one that wanted to kill him. So I could say from here on out, after that, Spider-Man's story would basically be over. That would be a heartbreaking ending to Spider-Man's character. And the younger version, Tom Holland's, we had only just got introduced to in the Captain America film, so that wouldn't have been enough time to explore his character. Putting in some of the characters like Spider-Man and Batman stuff, a few of them you can put in, and you still got to significantly nerf them. But for Miles, I just don't find it right that he fits into The Walking Dead. What if Sophia shot Carl? Well, then I could say her feeling very, very remorseful. But then the group would not be looking for Sophia after Carl recovers. Then they would most likely go to Fort Benning. But I don't know. Because if they went to Fort Benning, they would either die trying to get there or die trying to leave there because Fort Benning was overrun. I've explained this a bunch of times, but Sophia, you're new, so others can fill you in on that too. I just feel like if that's where the story goes, because Sophia, after Carl recovered, Sophia is the only reason they stayed at that farm. Afterwards, they just got acquainted. But I can't feel that if Sophia was with Otis, Carl recovers and they still stay at the farm. That's up to you guys, because I don't know. That seems like a decent story, but I don't know. Because I have other Sophia-themed stories, so I feel that one could be like... That's like a one-off, and that's like a one-off that I don't even feel would make for a good story. Without putting Spider-Man's powers in with Peter Parker, I've said this before too to other people, Superman and the Infinity War, that's going to happen. I just saved that. Without his spider powers, I don't feel that it would make for a good story. It's Sweet Kozark, we're good. I like the idea. It's just it seems like just a simple one-off that I can't really do. I guess. I try not to do dark endings. I don't know. Oh. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Noises. Yeah, I feel like Mario and Luigi, that would be a bit overpowered for The Walking Dead. Unless... That just gave me a good idea. So you guys know how I've even put Gargamel, werewolves, vampires, gigantic spiders, and that stuff to replace walkers, right? The Mario idea just gave me a good idea. What if Bowser and Eggman on separate what-ifs started The Walking Dead? What if they created or they sent their own armies into the real world of The Walking Dead? So it could be like the Koopa's army and the Eggbot army, and it could be separate ideas, and that could be another way to replace walkers. So that Mario idea actually worked. What if
Can I have some of your mixed nuts?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you mind? I'm trying to do a Q&A here.
Sorry, I forgot you were doing that.
What do you... So that's 8 ideas for the stream so far. Yes and no. I know, but this is Nick's topics. This isn't Nick's family topics. If I wanted this to be a family effort, I would have done that a long time ago. I've always been in YouTube for over 5 years for the long run by myself. It just feels like something someone should do on their own. Plus, I'm a loner by nature. Okay, The Walking Dead in space and the Illusion one are kind of silly. The Homelander? I've never seen The Homelander, so I can't really work with that. Let me think. What if Sophia shot Carl? You know what? I'll do it, but that will be the only one that covers Fort Benning. And if I find something else to do with that story, Sophia, then I will. But I feel like it might just turn into a one-off. But hey, we'll see. This is going to be in a long time. So it's not like you're going to see this anytime soon. But these are just for like, it's still nice to do the Q&As, so I'm far ahead of schedule. So that way this channel remains alive for years, which it's already going to be. Let's be honest here, especially with how long Dale's story is going to be. And I've already teased that. So we're already going to keep this channel alive forever. What's with the random symbol, King? Did I miss something? Evil version of Superman with parent issues. I have What If Sophia joined the Commonwealth or the CRM, so you'll see that. Are we just putting random symbols now? Okay. All right. I've seen people do the trapped in the hyperbolic time chamber meme, and honestly, I can't really think of a way that I could interpret it without literally copying ideas. It seems like so many people have done that story so far, it doesn't really make sense. Okay. What if the Walking Dead apocalypse started in season 7 when Carl and Sophia would be teenagers? The closest you're going to see of that idea is what if the Walking Dead was futuristic, like with futuristic weapons and technology and everything, and AI and all that. Like what if AI bots replaced walkers? Sort of like that. But they're two separate what ifs, I think. They might be the same thing. Simple solution. Put Rick Rhymes in there. Nice hearts. What if Goku had Tune 4? I think I prefer Goku the way he is, honestly. What if after Madison destroyed the stadium, the CRM found her instead? I have what if Madison joined Negan as the only group she joins, but the CRM? All right. Neat. What if Madison joined? And you know what's even better? The CRM was in fear. So that actually works. Oh, we got a bunch of faces. What if Milton stabbed the governor successfully? Well, even if he did, it would just be a lucky stab, and then the governor would most likely just kill him. The governor would just have a chest wound. And Andrea was already trapped, so she couldn't do anything. So, honestly, I just feel that as Milton getting, like, some kind of stab. But how weak he was, it doesn't really make for a compelling story. What if The Walking Dead was a comedy show? Then it really wouldn't make sense to call it The Walking Dead. I don't think. It'd be best left at, like, just not being about zombies or something. It would literally just be like Zombieland. And Zombieland wasn't even like a comedy show. It was just more funny. What if Rick Grimes was the reincarnation of Rambo? I've heard people mention the name Rambo before, and I think I've heard of that name, but I don't know who that is. But we do got 10 ideas so far, 2 of which are already being recommended earlier this week. And you know what the good thing is? This is what I forgot to mention. We actually get to do this Q&A. Because if you guys remember, last time we had a Q&A, that resulted in the War of Words. So I'm glad that we could actually do this now, because I learned after the War of Words to just ignore them. But there's going to be trolls and people that come on, like, literally as my channel gets bigger and bigger. So to ignore them and just circle them away is the best thing. What if walkers had wings? Dude, that would be freaking terrifying. That would actually be freaking scary. Have you guys ever thought about a spider with wings? Oh, a walker. I'm sorry, I had to pause there. That's great, but I can't imagine how scary that would be. Flying ones or running ones? No, you're counting me out of that. Yes and no. Well, technically they did, because the pigs got sick, and I think that's it. The pigs got sick, but I don't think anything else did. So that's like the only hint that we got. It would have been great to see Shiva as a tiger. Or, not a tiger, a walker tiger. What if term? Okay, I need to catch up a little here. What if walkers had wings? Jesus, that would be terrifying. That's a great idea, Sophia. What if Rick Grimes had Deadpool regeneration? I have what if Rick Grimes got bit and got zombie powers, so that's kind of like that. But for that one, I feel that I can't really work that out. You might as well just make him Deadpool. But then again, Wolverine has the same regeneration. I just feel like that one's left alone. What if Terminus was actually the CRM? People have done that. They've said, like, what if Alexandria and Terminus swapped? What if... I think we've swapped a bunch of communities and leaders. But for the CRM and Terminus, I could do that, but the group would basically be screwed. For the beginning, actually, wait. No. I mean, in terms of fighting, they'd be screwed. And I've already got the CRM introduced way earlier than in the show. Technically, the CRM's been introduced since the beginning, if we're really getting that plot twist. But I think that I can make that work. I could, like, say, what if Terminus and CRM swapped? But, geez. That would be... With how big we now know the CRM is, that'd definitely make for a heck of a big plot twist. Heck, with Terminus, there'd almost be no story to tell. I have what if Rick met the cannibals early, but it's after the CDC. Same with a bunch of other groups. Just ask anybody else, they'll tell you. Yeah, I just feel like any group that Rick would have to meet early besides Dawn, it's best to meet them after the CDC to make it compelling, if you get what I mean. With any story or narrative, you got to find the right way to do it and the right place to put it, which is why 90% of my stories work, because I actually... It might seem like I'm doing it really fast, but the fact is, not only am I able to think of it fast, but it still takes time for me to think of some parts. Which is why What If Dale Survived remake is so detailed. Let me see here. What if Rick and Negan switched places? Rick Grimes with Lucille? Negan with Lori? Rick and Daryl getting swapped, that's one thing. But when you swap Rick and Lori, or not Rick and Lori, Rick and Negan, that's awesome. What if Dawn killed Daryl? Well, after killing Beth accidentally, so she did, Dawn was so broken that she did it, there'd be no reason for her to really kill Daryl. Maybe after the fact, Daryl's like, he ain't staying, before Beth gets killed. But honestly, I can't find a compelling narrative that would make that make sense. What if Alexandra worked with Terminus? It'd be interesting for the group to get attacked by cannibals again. Imagine the trust issues after that. Ooh. You guys have asked me to do what if Alexandria and Terminus swapped? Or at least I thought of that narrative, but Alexandria being a bigger Terminus full of more cannibals? You're right, the trust issues would be major after that. It would make the group even darker. Okay. I can do that. I'll do what if Alexandria was a bigger Terminus? You'll understand why I named it that whenever I do it. Speaking of scary, you know those feral monsters or those feral people that Virgil and Connie met whenever Connie was saved by Virgil. They met him in the house there, the Farrells. Well, I have Gareth in a story. He's going to survive and end up meeting them. So cannibals to cannibals. So it's going to be like Gareth becomes one of those people. So when Connie and Virgil get attacked, Gareth and maybe even a few others are going to be there with them. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet because that's a long time story away in the future. But I feel that it's going to be great. That Shane Netta one's kind of silly, I'm not going to lie. What if Winslow was unleashed? Well, Winslow was only a single spiky walker, so it wouldn't really do much. Rick was able to take it down single-handedly, although he did get injured, so wouldn't really do much. Hi, Gerd Julia. So, because of that Walkers with Wings one, how's this for a story? And you guys can voice your opinions on this. What if dragons replaced walkers? No, not like that. I'm just thinking like the experiments that the people work on in that world, it results in a portal to another dimension, and basically a bunch of demonized dragons swoop in, and it's literally the world is consumed within flames, basically. And if you guys are wondering, well, wouldn't it just be overkill then? Remember, many of towns or cities, including Los Angeles, Atlanta, a bunch of places that got bombed. They were on fire. So the dragons lighting it up and dragons being in it, that would actually work. It would just be a bit more disastrous among the entire Walking Dead universe, because it would be more fiery. You get what I mean? So, yeah. So I'm going to do that one, because that one actually seems like it can work. I wanted to wait until I caught up before I said that one after the Walkers with Wings one, because thanks to Sophia making that Walkers with Wings, that's what made me think of that on the fly, because you said wings. Yes, they would have trouble, but I feel like that would inspire the Walking Dead people in that universe more to rally against, because Alpha wouldn't have her. If anything, Alpha and the Whisperers, they literally would just be like, they'd be riding freaking dragons or something. I have no idea. They'd find a way. Regardless, it should make for a good story. Anyway, so now we're at 15 ideas, which is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, before I forget, I have the ideas now for my AI art February, because if you guys remember, I had all the 15 pictures for the end of this month, but I was a few low on for February's. But I finally got that figured out, and the last few you guys are really gonna like whenever February rolls around. And that's going to be when The Ones Who Live comes out. So it's like a double surprise. So that's cool. Okay. What if Rick was at his full potential in season 1? Well, I have what if The Walking Dead was a dream? Remember, Rick shoots the bridge and then he wakes up in the hospital and he knows everything and is like, that's going to be like that. So, but I've scrapped that idea over and over again. But I'm going to work with it. It's like what if Goku had his full potential at the start? It's like you can't do much. But with Rick, it's different because it's a human world, and it's not like he's getting a massive power boost. He just knows more, you know? So it's different, but kind of the same. What if Daryl killed Richard in the season 7? Hmm. Well, technically, Dawn did join Rick in What If the Governor Joined Negan remake. Shane going to the Fear the Walking Dead groups. I've already had that happen in What If Madison's Family Joined Rick, and I have Shane joining Virginia, Padre, and Teddy's group, I think. Technically, Dwight and Simon both betrayed Negan. So, yeah. Now, what was I doing? What if Daryl killed Richard? I think I could do something there. Because it'd be killing him off like an episode or so early. But I think that I could make it work enough that even if it's not like a true whole story, it would at least mean something. That's... What if Alpha and Lydia joined Woodbury? I have Alpha and Lydia joining the Atlanta camp, and I think a few other groups. I'm just not certain on which few, but it's the few that I feel that they would fit into. Woodbury might be one of them. I just can't remember. What, the one where Walking Dead's a dream and Rick knows everything? Yeah, I could agree. What if Rick had a kingdom? What do you mean? Technically over the course of The Walking Dead and now being a part of the CRM, you gotta wonder, is Rick gonna somehow make the CRM stand with him? Or is he just gonna fight them and get away? I mean, that's kind of obvious since what we know of it, but Rick has had kingdoms. He's rallied communities to fight Negan. He's rallied communities together as a whole. Rick does have a kingdom. Pretty much everyone in The Walking Dead is Rick's kingdom. Whew. Sorry, I'm just thinking. What if Shane died in Atlanta camp, like the comics? That is already a saved story, much like a few other comic-related stories. Except it's going to be show-oriented instead of comic-oriented. It's just going to be nods from the comics. Which I've also mentioned before. But yeah, I'm finally getting to Alexandria as of last night with my Dale story. I touched on Noah's hometown very briefly because, spoiler alert, he does actually become a little bit relevant. Finally. Even though I have some Noah-themed stories coming up in the future, I'm just telling you guys that for this one, Noah's actually going to matter just a little bit. Oscar didn't seem like a leader type. He seemed more like a guard type. It seemed like Daryl was taking more initiative than anybody else, and Glenn. Yeah, kind of. Now what was I gonna say? Yeah, what if Shane was the main villain? That's already a saved what if. It's just going to be a little different than that. What was I going to say? It was something important. Hold your thoughts for a sec. What if Shane died in camp? It was something related to an idea. Hold your thoughts for a sec. Okay. So, guys want to hear another little hint? Because you guys asked, what if Dale and Eastman met? And I said that that's going to happen in some way, shape, or form with the Dale remake. Well, you guys want to hear a little more of a little creative twist that I'm going to be working with? Because it's big. So, after everyone meets up at Father Gabriel's church, like I said, that hint about where I was leaving the group before Alexandria, not only are Dale and Eastman going to get the chance to meet, but Dale, Eastman, and Tyrese, the three pacifists of the entire freaking franchise. But that's all I'm going to say. I think what if the Wolves were still in Noah's Town? I have that saved. Or what if the Wolves appeared early? That's the best I'm going to say with that one. I think the governor spared Merle. The governor was not going to spare Merle at that point. He already viewed Merle as expendable, even after he lost his eye. So, at that point, I think the governor was just destined to kill him. Unless Merle did not die and Daryl died instead of Merle, which is going to be a thing that happens here soon. It's actually one of the stories I teased. What if Carl was a villain after Lori's death? Technically, he was. Look at how he acted towards every single person afterwards. And he shot that boy who surrendered. And he lambasted his father after they lost the prison. He did become a villain. What if Gargiulio joined Negan? I have some Gargiulio saved what ifs. Like, what if Gargiulio was spared by Merle? Which is one of my teased stories, by the way. What if Gargiulio killed Merle? But for him joining Negan? I don't know. You know what? I'll think of something. That sounds like a decent enough story. What if Gargiulio joined Negan? All right. What if Shane took Carl and left the farm? Okay, how and when would this occur? I need some context of how this would work and when it would happen. What if Gregory killed Maggie? I think I scrapped that idea, but then I brought it back. So that will happen here in the future. But that's 17 ideas for the stream. We are doing it good. And the ideas, I'm liking where 2024 is headed off. And I'm glad, because even though we're almost out of time, we're doing really good ideas here. We're making up for what we lost the last Q&A. I'm really thankful for that. I know you guys would come with awesome ideas. You know what's funny? Almost all these are The Walking Dead, and here I was thinking that we exhausted all the Walking Dead ideas, but you guys proved me wrong. I guess over Christmas break and the last week or so, you guys really must have been thinking hard about these ideas, because I for sure didn't think of any of these. Heck, over 50% of the ideas on this channel that you guys have recommended, I would have never thought of until probably months from now. So thank God for you guys, honestly. Give yourselves a nice pat on the back for that one. What if the group got stuck on the highway before the CDC? Well, the CDC and Herschel's farm were somewhat apart, so I'm not gonna. I don't think that would work. What if walkers could breathe underwater? Well, we've seen walkers in. We've seen walkers in water before, so I don't know. It might not make a full story, but for the details of walkers that have been in water, I think I could make it work. There are at least a few different scenes that could work with. I could do that. Hello, Hen. Do you mind working, please? Okay, malfunction with the pen. Okay, there we go. I hate whenever pens don't want to frickin' write right. Right. What if walkers could breathe underwater? Yeah, afterwards, and just in case I didn't make this obvious enough, after I write the ideas down for any newcomers especially, I just save them to an app called Quick Memo, and I just save every single idea that I come up with or you guys recommend to me in a separate memo on the app. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Quick Memo. You probably have. But that's where they're saved. And if I could show you pictures of every single idea that I've saved, I'd probably be going for over 100. Possibly even 200. I'm not joking. So that's how many ideas that I alone and you guys have come up with over the past 2 years. Since we started talking about ideas and really communicating. All right. What if Shane had walker powers? How would that occur? You said what if someone recommended me what if Rick got bit and got walker powers? Is that the same with Shane or is that something different? What if Alpha killed Daryl? Well, if she killed Daryl, you're killing off a spinoff character and a character that's mattered since the beginning. Can't really find a way to make that make sense. I'm killing off Daryl in certain places, but I have someone to replace him. That really doesn't. What if the season 1 Atlanta camp was on Herschel's farm? All right. The Atlanta camp was on Herschel's farm. That's 19. Rosita, Ezekiel, and Gabriel being Pike victims, those are already saved what ifs. Doom? What if Doom was in The Walking Dead? Doom guy. Huh. I don't know. I mean, he'd be going against the undead, and that would actually work. Is that why you did that? That would actually, I think, work. That would be perfectly accurate for Doom guy. But then again, you gotta wonder, who could kill him? Yeah, I figured you did that for that reason. I forgot who even recommended it for a sec. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments. What if T-Dog was separated from the group instead of Andrea? So what if T-Dog met Michonne? Okay. That could work. I have what if T-Dog obviously met Negan or joined Woodbury like the game Destinies did, but that's different. That's much different. "21 ideas, god dang. What if Walker Shane bit Carl? Dang. All right. I have a feeling that, I think that would have given Rick much time to do what he needs to do, like move out of the way before getting bit. So that could actually work a little bit there. What if Walker Shane bit Carl? All right. So that's 22. What if Shane died instead of Otis? I have Otis killing Shane and Otis surviving, so those both will happen. What if Dakota? Then it would just be a Charlie storyline. It wouldn't do much, except Dakota was far more annoying. Charlie actually meant how sorry she was. Charlie was much a better character, and the fact they brought her back for one episode just to kill her was kind of dumb. And honestly, she had way more reason to live than Dakota. Heck, she lived a season, 2 seasons longer than Dakota. What if Kratos wasn't Thor Love and Thunder? Well, considering Kratos killed pretty much every god in his world, putting him in the MCU, you gotta wonder how that would go. I don't know. So, what if Thor from the MCU fought Kratos? That's the best that I can do with that one. What if June got shot instead of John? That one I think I already did. If not, it's because replacing both of their roles like that and putting them in different places would be a bit hard. As for the Vatos gang surviving, I have the Vatos gang joining Rick and kidnapping Beth in a previous What If, which is going to get a remake. So, yeah. Well, after he hid it for some time until Gareth and the others kidnapped him, I feel like he was just going to tell them at that point because he knew he was going to die. He already got his leg cut off and eaten, and he was already bit beforehand, so I feel it was right to tell him when he did. Well, killing Carl, Maggie, and Lori off, well, in that sense, you're killing Judith off too, and Maggie is a spin-off character. Carl was an important character till season 8, so literally you'd be taking away a bunch of main characters. Except Lori. But anyways, guys, that is 23 ideas for the stream. You guys have done wonderful today, but that is where we're going to call it. We're a bit over an hour with this, and that is where we're going to call it for this Q&A. I am very glad to be back into the spirit of things since we did not get a full Q&A last time because, those other guys, and it resulted in the War of Words, etc. But you guys have come up with 23 good ideas for this stream, and I cannot thank you guys enough because some of these, like the Walkers with Wings and just all the ideas in general, you guys really did good with these. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Dale story so far. Like I said, I'm at Alexandria now, so I feel like the story will move quicker from here on out. So yeah, what do you mean a poll for the next What If? No, all my What Ifs are done in certain order. I have them in quick memo, certain order, so I don't really do polls for the What Ifs. I just show them up on community posts and just show them what what I'm doing. But anyways, that is where we're going to call it. And I will see you guys Monday for the next part to the Dale story, and next Saturday for the next Q&A. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys later.